EnterTalk Radio, you're in to all things music.
Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Hello, hello.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to another episode of Sharpen the Axe.
Yeah, we've been away for a little bit, but now we're back. We got some awesome toys in front of us. And also, we have a contest going on right now, don't we?
Tell us about the contest. That's really cool.
Yes, it is. You can win a Mission Engineering VM Pro. That's a buffered volume pedal. It's a really awesome, badass pedal. And the way you guys can go enter is you can go to a Mission Engineering site, and you'll see a little link for the contest there. You can enter there. If you want an extra entry, you share that post. And also, there's a little button in that contest page or Mission Engineering site that says Learn. Click that, and if you can answer a trivia question from the interview between Florentino and Paul Shedden of
no, it was our interview.
Oh, it was our interview.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was. Yeah, well, whoops, it was from our.
You're gonna be listening a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, looking for something that might not be there then, but it's from our interview with Paul Shedden of Mission Engineering. If you click Learn, answer the question right, you might win yourself a nice little volume pedal.
That's one of those things that makes me kind of sad, where it's like a conflict of interest for me to enter these contests. I want one of those.
Right? Yeah.
Sweet.
But someone lucky out there will. When do we draw? Actually, that's.
Is it in 2 weeks?
Yeah, be in front of Christmas, right?
When's it? 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, yeah. So pretty much by Christmas, you can win one.
So
or just after.
No excuses. You got plenty of time. Yeah. And it's a cool interview. You know, kind of. Paul talks about all the high tech components that goes into these pedals that separates them from other ones. And
yeah, he talks about the little engineering marvels and the details that go into what separates Mission Engineering's expression and volume pedals and wah from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, and just how to get kind of a boutique company like that off the ground.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
So it'll also be of interest to the other makers out there that are listening in that are maybe trying to get their own pedal companies off the ground. You can find out a little bit of info.
Cool. How's your week been?
Not bad. I can't complain.
I can. Oh. And I'm gonna.
All right, lay it on me, Paul. What happened to you?
I'm gonna use this radio show as my own little psychotherapy session.
A rant session. This is awesome.
I had like a travel nightmare.
Oh no!
I just came back from Chicago. I went out there to do a radio broadcast for the NAMM Foundation.
Oh, rad! Yeah,
pretty cool. And I drove through Chicago once, but I never really explored it too much. So it's really cool to get to see the city. It was cold as hell.
Yeah, I gotta imagine it's single digits over there now.
It's single digits. It was kind of cool the first night. I bundled up. I went exploring. It was pretty cool, but 2 days of it was plenty. but trying to get back was just the biggest nightmare I've ever had.
Yeah, I have a certain hatred in my heart for O'Hare Airport. That every time I have ever had to go through O'Hare, I'm there for 2 days.
Yeah. The flight was delayed because the plane was missing or something. When it finally got there, it was already an hour late. We boarded. When we were boarded, ready to take off, the captain comes on and tells us, "Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to get off the plane. The landing gear is frozen shut. We need to fix and get off my plane."
Well, better it stays frozen on the ground than you suddenly find in the air.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, our landing gear is frozen. What the hell?
Absolutely, and that was his point as well. But it's not over. So we lose another hour for them to fix the landing gear, finally take off, fly to San Diego. We're about to land in San Diego. I'm like, I recognize the city skyline, and I'm like, we should be kind of lower than this. What's going on? And we're kind of coasting past the ocean instead of landing. I was like, what's going on? And captain comes on again. He's like, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there's really heavy fog here. If we got here 15 minutes earlier, it would have been fine. But now it's not safe to land. So we're flying into LAX.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had to completely skip San Diego.
This is
all the way to
already
LA.
like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're flying into Los Angeles, not knowing how to get back from there. And when we land there, like, we're going to just put you on some buses and drive you.
Or at least they provided transportation, I guess.
yeah.
On the bright side.
So this is at 2 o'clock in the morning leaving LAX, and it's like another hour and a half, 2 hour drive to San Diego. So I had a pretty rough night last night. So if my playing is not up to par today, that's why.
Hey, I wish I had an excuse for my crappy playing on here like that, but I'm just not in practice. Now, why don't you tell us about the partnership with the NAMM Foundation, what you guys were doing up there?
Yeah, so we just recently partnered up with the NAMM Foundation. We're carrying their podcast supporting music education. And they were out there in Chicago for this Midwest band. It's a big convention, so I guess I didn't have a whole lot of time to spend there and explore it. But I guess school bands, marching bands, school
nice.
orchestras, and they did kind of a conference event for their podcast. Just talking about music education and funding for music programs,
nice,
and stuff like that. And I was there to broadcast it through our channel and blast it on Facebook.
Right on,
and all of that.
And it's through the is it called the NAMM Education Foundation, or I probably have that name wrong.
Tino, I think it's just called the NAMM Foundation. And,
NAMM Foundation. There we go.
And we're going to be broadcasting from NAMM, our own programming, and I think possibly we might do another one of these events for the NAMM Foundation there as well.
Rad. Exciting stuff up ahead in the end of January.
Yep. And I got to say, I'm glad to be back here with our balmy 65 degrees where I'm not afraid of freezing to death every minute.
Yeah, of waiting in taking shelter in a doorway somewhere, waiting for someone to come get you, and like freezing in place.
It's funny. Like I went to a bunch of places trying to like just go to a restaurant or something, and I kept thinking places are closed because I pulled the door and I can't pull it open, and it's just like the wind and the difference in air pressure, I guess, and you really have to pull on the door to get it to open.
I can just imagine myself just trying to haul a door open and just hitting myself in the face with it. I
pretty much did that everywhere I tried to go into.
At least you didn't come back with any major head injury then from door and wind.
Just a shaken faith in our aircraft industry.
That's easy to happen these days. But yeah, they can't all be great flights, right?
No.
So today, for our sampling of pedals of devices, we got
a nice flight. We got a nice flight of pedals.
Yeah, nice flight of organ emulators pretty much this time around. So what we have in front of us, 4 of them, 3 from Electro-Harmonix and 1 from Earthquaker Devices. The first one is Electro-Harmonix B9, which is their organ emulator. It's got 9 of them on tap. Next up,
keeping with the flight metaphor.
Right,
I like it.
Next up, the Key 9, which is their electric piano emulator. Another 9 on there. Then there's the Mel 9, which is their Mellotron emulator, or as they call it, their tape replay machine emulator, with 9 settings from the classic Mellotron sounds on there. And the last one is the Earthquaker Devices Organizer, which kind of has a church organ-y sound, at least to my ears. It has octave down, up, choir, which adds extra 2 octaves up, and I think 2 octaves down as well. Lag control, tone, and direct, but we'll hear them all as it goes. But you've played in bands before with keyboardists, right?
Yeah.
And have you ever had a night where a guy couldn't show up or was running late or anything, and you had to fill in his parts?
Yeah, or I've just been in bands where there isn't the keyboard player, and I'm kind of having to carry both. And I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with that, because when I don't have a keyboard player, a lot of times I miss them. Like if I want to do a solo and then there's no chord structure really underneath. But when there is a keyboard player, sometimes I'm also frustrated because a lot of times we're fighting over the same sonic spectrum where we're all kind of like in the middle high frequency range, and my stuff gets lost with the keyboard player or vice versa.
They're fighting against each other, and there's only so much space in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
That like there was a band I used to do sound for here locally on occasion, and their keyboardist who just kicked ass every time, but he would insist on bringing his B3 and the Leslie with him. Wow. So it was a good 20 minutes to half hour of just getting it loaded in and set up on stage. But I think I might have a slip disc or two from having to deal with that. But
yeah, we know a guy like that too. Shout out to Bump City Brass and Phil over there. He drags a
oh really?
Yeah, he drags a Hammond and a Leslie with him everywhere, and he's like a hero.
Yeah. I mean, then again, if I owned a Hammond and a Leslie, I would probably be trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, they just sound amazing,
right? Yeah. So why not just dive into it, right?
But if you're a sissy like us and you can only lift about 12 ounces,
then just until it becomes an addition on your pedal board, which then gets to weigh 10, 12 pounds.
Yeah.
I think my pedal board is now heavier than my amp now. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It's potentially.
And your amp, you got the Earthquaker devices, that big white.
Yes, yeah, I do have the sound projector.
What's the model? Sound projector?
Sound projector 25, and that's my baby right there. I love that thing, and the head is light, but that cabinet is one solid built cabinet. But actually, you know what? This weekend I'm gonna have to weigh them both and see which one is heavier, the cab or my pedal board. There's not even that much on there. But yeah, the first one we'll try out is the B9, which has 5 controls. It has separate effect or organ, which is the wet side, and dry volumes. It's got a mod control and then click, which is like on some of the old organs.
That attack kind of.
Yeah. That kind of mechanical sound that pops up, and I like the artifact noise like that. And then it's just got the dial for the rest of the 9 organ sounds you can try. And there's particular ones, that emulate on there, like the Fat and Full is the B3. Then there's the Jazz and a couple other models on there. Of course, you can't call them out directly, but all pretty much there. So let's turn it on. And I got everything at noon to start with. So let's turn down the dry just a little bit and turn the organ or wet up. And click's fine about right where it is. Now, we were trying to figure out before the show started, like the Light My Fire intro, which I can't. I'm terrible with listening to something and then trying to play it immediately. Paul's a little bit better at it, much better at it than me.
10% of it from just messing around.
Let's give it a shot. See what you can do.
That's about as far as I got.
Yeah. Nope, not it there.
Remember, I didn't sleep very much. That's why it's not because I'm a shitty guitar player. It's United Air's fault.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you definitely are not a shitty guitar player by any means. But yeah, flight and then a 2-hour drive back from where you were supposed to land in the first place will definitely tire out the hands. But here, I'll give it a shot here. Well, not Light My Fire, but. Whoops.
There you go. It would be untrue.
That was a little Santana there, but let's dial out the click. Actually, let's jump through and see. There we are. Nice. So, of course, these are digital pedals. So, at least with with all of them here today, it is DSP, digital signal processing, but it's pretty good. I mean, like before these kinds of things were around, and I would try to get an organ type of sound with my rig, I would be using, a whammy or a POG, any kind of octave divider, and a phaser running fairly slow after to kind of emulate a little bit of that modulation. But it was a different sort of sound, not exactly on. And these are, without having to go MIDI, and into a laptop or into like a V guitar system, just running straight through. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And they actually give you stereo outs. Well, not stereo, but you can do a dry out and the wet organ out in case you want to split it out and sound like you do have a separate organist around.
Oh, cool.
Let's dial through. Oh, there we are. Nice and full.
And I was reading up on these before, and some people were saying you have to be kind of careful if you play more than a triad. Sometimes it gets muddy, but I'm not seeing too much of it. It's like a full chord. Sounds pretty solid.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with an effect like this, like, if you have like high output pickups that are kind of driving the front end of it anyway, or maybe something that's a pickup choice on there that's a bit more mid-range, much more mid-range focused, then I could see it getting a little
right. Yeah,
muddy,
we're running this very clean through relatively not super high output pickups. Actually, the neck, the P90, it's
is that a Fat Cat?
It's a guitar fetish.
The
like
GFS?
Yeah, GFS P90. It's actually, for a single coil, it's a pretty chunky.
So you do hear it distorting a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's not too bad. Just doing octaves.
That sounds great. Yeah, the octaves are sounding really good.
And I'm sure when you go through the different settings on here, I mean, you try something different. Shall we try something different on here?
Sure.
So what it gives you, fat and full, jazz, gospel, classic rock, bottom end, octaves, cathedral, continental, and bell organ. Now, I like the Vox Continental sound, so let's see what that one sounds like.
There's that Dorsey sound again.
Yeah, back to it. I actually don't know any Doors songs. Nice.
Totally. I can't put my finger on what it sounds like. This sounds like a ton of Doors songs.
And I think Ray Manzarek, he did use a B3, I believe. Mm-hmm. And my favorite was he had that little mini Rhodes up top, which I would love to find on eBay, and I could never afford them the couple times they ever do pop up.
Can you play those things? Can you play them? Can you play keyboards at all?
Kind of, yeah. Only enough to pass. Enough to pass the piano proficiency test I had to take in college, and even then, my teachers were usually just shaking their head and go, "C, now get the hell out of my office." It worked out enough for me. I didn't end up with a degree, but still. Can you? You much of a keyboard player?
Not really. I tried to get into it a couple of years ago, where I actually practiced for a few months, and I was starting to get there, but then I stopped practicing, and it all went out the window.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's something you definitely have to keep up. Yeah. And even I got a City College catalog in the other day to the house, and saw the introductory piano lessons in there, and might not be a bad idea. Help me out in a few ways. Unless there's a listener out there that wants to cut me a deal on private piano lessons, hit me up. But in the meanwhile, I'll at least try to emulate using these things here. Now, could you see yourself using these very much and this kind of idea?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's try classic rock. Go for it.
Classic rock. Man, I'm underpowered here. You got the... Yeah, it's just the difference in these two guitars. Rock. I wish we had some distortion going here. What was I playing before?
Trip the Light Fandango. That song. Wow, I can't remember what it is.
Whiter Shade of Pale.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think I only know the intro from like The Big Lebowski. I don't think I even know the whole song.
Cool song. I love the organ sound on that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the one we're using now. Maybe it was the B9 originally, but
it might have been on electric piano, which we'll get into on the Key 9. But it's for I could definitely see. These actually all of these have been out for a couple of years now, and I think the Organizer came out before the Electro-Harmonix ones, but. I know a lot of bands who, especially on the cover band and tribute band side, where they, there's three guys basically doing bar gigs and they don't want to get a keyboard player and have to pay out the extra little bit of door they make. Yeah. So I could definitely see a lot of
keyboard players.
Yeah. They're always so demanding. But I could definitely see a lot of people on that side, picking these up just, you playing Light My Fire in your, Friday night tribute band, and you don't have access to a keyboardist, or not enough stage space for that B9 and Leslie they want to drag up. But this could definitely do the trick for them. And even on the more experimental side, like when I was reading up on these earlier, Electro-Harmonix suggested not putting a distortion or overdrive or fuzz in front of it, putting one behind if you really want to, but. I'm a fan of weird synthy kind of sounds, and I can definitely imagine with a fuzz. I should have brought one today to try it out with these.
Well, like if you want to go for like a John Lord sound, it would sound better if you put it behind it.
That's what they say, but I mean, if you just write your gain stages the right way, just don't, why not max it out in my opinion? But if you can, just give it a shot and see if you can level something out in front of it. Why not have a super distorted organ sort of sound?
That would be really rad for guitar solos too.
Yeah. You have that that octave and synthesis pitch, and then you have the modulation on it. There you got a little vibrato in the back with some distortion or fuzz would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And let's try another one on here. Let's see, any choice between jazz, gospel, cathedral, or octaves you want to try?
Let me hear octaves.
Nice. So you can do some cool chordal work with it.
Yeah.
But I always had the most fun doing finger picking stuff on these. Let's try and see one that's a little bit more thick than that. This is back on the classic rock one, but it's the only way I will ever be able to imitate like keyboardist dexterity is faking it with these.
I guess this could be kind of cool for even if you're just like a solo singer songwriter type performer, where it's not just you and an acoustic guitar, which is a dime a dozen. Everybody does that. Throw one of these in front of it, and it's like you're playing to a piano.
Yeah, so you could even start up a chord progression with these in a looper.
Yeah.
Or with or your guitar in a looper, and then do the organ solo, or vice versa, however you want to do it.
These pedals really like sus chords.
Yeah, it's fun to do something. like that.
Yeah.
Let's try another one on here. I want to see what the jazz sounds like. Yeah, very nice and cutting and very funky. I figured you would like that one.
Yeah, yeah. Do it.
I think the idea we just had a little bit ago, the singer-songwriter, with a looper and these, that can open up quite a bit, especially like dialing up the clicking, having that little percussive attack on there.
Pay attention, you hippies.
I want you to say that at least once a show. That we need to make shirts that say that. Pay attention, you hippies.
Don't be afraid of the electronics. Don't be afraid of the machine. Speaking of which, are these buffered or true bypass?
I believe they are all true bypass.
Cool. Nice.
And they, while we're on it, the all from Electro-Harmonix, the B9, Key 9, and Mel 9, we'll review those other two in the second half of the show, are all 22130. And the Earthquaker device's organizer is 185. And you can always pop into Pitbull Audio, come see me, and we can try them out and see what you think.
It's a lot cheaper than paying your keyboard player.
And also saves you the backbreaking work of hauling in all the keyboard stuff.
Yeah. Well, let them do it.
Yeah. You don't have to be there.
They're taking up all that space on stage, make them suffer, make them sweat.
And hogging the monitors too while we're at it.
Yeah, that's all. They don't deserve any better than that.
But so far, what do you think of the sound of the B9 overall?
It's really cool. I'm really glad we finally got a chance to bring this. I just kind of like saw a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and I was always like, I gotta try this. So I'm really glad I got a chance to check it out. We're heading into a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. We're gonna review the Key 9, the Mel 9, and the Earthquaker Organizer. This is Sharpen the Axe on EnterTalk Radio. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on EnterTalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Tracy Smith
and Beth Venus
of Girls Talk Rock right here on the EnterTalk Radio Network.
Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, Beth, they know that, but we want you to know that the industry pro's choice is Silver Tiger Production.
SDP is a full-service production agency offering sound, lighting, installations, talent buying, staffing, backline equipment rental, and sales. Kapow!
It's everything in the entertainment performance industry. It's all that. SilverTigerProduction.com.
Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back. We got more toys to play with.
Toys are good.
Toys are fun. Toys for Christmas, everybody. Mm-hmm. So next up, we got the Key9, which is their electric piano emulator, and ever since I think, well, it wasn't the first time I ever heard a Wurlitzer, but when I heard the way the Wurlitzer was played, kind of overdriven in a band called the Blood Brothers on their Young Machetes album especially, I grew to love the sound of them. And, listening to like Herbie Hancock and other stuff when I was younger, growing to love it that way. So let's turn this guy on. And, let's start with the second setting, which is the whirly sound. Turn up the keys just so it can be heard. And on this one, I'll explain the controls real quick. You have the selector for your 9 electric keyboard sounds. You have the dry volume, the keys volume, which I've turned up, and control 1 or 2, which tends to be modulation and speed, like a tremolo, depth, and speed, for example. Kind of varies depending on which setting you're on. So let's turn the tremolo up and speed it up a little. So it's not quite as thick and present as it's been on the B9 so far, but you still kind of get the idea on it. So I'm going to max out the keys volume there and turn down the dry a little bit. This one's still very guitar-y, at least on this setting.
Yeah.
But you do kind of get that light feeling of modulation over it.
It's a cool sound.
Right? And actually, I kind of like the tremolo on it. It's very... Nice. And you do get, you got 8 others to try on here, so let's try what the first setting is like. Handles chords pretty well, and let's see what the modulation does. Kind of chorusy.
Yeah.
My go-to on chorus. Nice. You hear the click in the background, yeah, which I hadn't noticed on this one before.
That's so cool. Almost sounds like you're kind of playing behind the headstock.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, wow, it does kind of have that same sort of tone on there. So this here, the suitcase. Give this one a try.
I forgot. I forgot the next chord.
Yeah. More than I know.
There we go.
Nice, yeah.
Which one is that we're doing?
This is the key 9 on the suitcase sound.
Suitcase.
And I'm noticing on this one, it's not quite as present or thick. I think I might have stated this before, but as the B9, but still you can get some cool timbres out of it. So let's go. I think we tried the 88 earlier. We were kind of fond of this one. And this one does have an organ setting on there. Let's see how we feel about that one. So I'm going to cut the dry volume to hear more of the effect.
Yeah. Huh.
Charge! It kind of has a Casio keyboardy sort of sound, a little bit on that electric side for sure. But still, it's like I can see putting a compressor before this to fatten it up a bit.
Yeah, a compressor or a booster or a little bit of overdrive or something.
Something, yeah, and put a little reverb or another, something, and whatever you want in the chain afterwards, really, to make this thing really pop out. But giving it a some sort of little spice over it would definitely help out a bit. But definitely has that toy organ sound. So this, again, may not replace the cat you got on the whirly behind you and the band, but still, it's another cool timbre to have around. Another spice, something else on your spice rack, so to speak.
We're in a spice rack now. I thought we were doing beer flights.
Oh yeah.
We're mixing our metaphors here.
Yeah, we are. We can't keep anything straight. Let's give it a shot.
Wait. Hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah. Nice.
Trying to do like this Prince kind of like thin.
Yeah.
Very thin, funky guitar.
And rest in peace, that shredder right there. Let's try the Mel 9 out of the B9 Key 9. Oh, there's also a C9 too, which has even more emulated organ options, and that one's also 22130. The Mel 9 is my favorite because I love the sound of the Mellotron, and they're really hard to come by, and even the resurrected ones are still, I think, like $4,000 or something.
Wow.
But this thing sounds pretty freaking
I wish
awesome.
we knew more Beatles songs.
Yeah, for being one of the most popular bands of all time, it's like many other bands in that same vein. I just know almost nothing of them.
Yeah. Can you crank it up on the pedal?
Oh, of course, I play it right, and it's not really playing. Turn the attack down so it's... Oh, and on this one, you got your dry volume, effect volume, attack, and sustain, which is acting as a release, and your 9 choices of Mellotron voices. I'm on the first one here, which is the orchestra. This one can handle chords actually pretty well. I was most excited for this one when we started getting like preview videos from Electro-Harmonix about these, and I loved it as soon as it came in. And
Did we lose power?
Oh, our power supply just died. Wait, we got it for a minute. There we are.
Oh no!
Wow, of course. We were using a pedal train Volto that I thought was fully charged, and apparently it was not.
Can we just plug this one into it and just take this one out?
Yeah. We'll just yeah.
Sorry, folks.
A little bit of trouble there. Or actually, I don't know if that. I don't think it won't work that way. We'll just plug it direct in. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
I had
asked coworkers at work to not use this one so I could use it for the show, and they used it despite my asking them not to.
Or maybe because of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Go ahead.
Whoops, it's a little hot. Hold on. I don't know why I'm playing that.
It sounded almost like Dear Maker to me, Led Zeppelin. It is,
was.
yeah.
I just don't. That's not necessarily the best song to play with this sound. Ooh, dark,
right? And let's jump up and let's try the cello. I really like the cello one when I try this thing. The thing about the Mellotrons, they had that sort of almost sounds like a reverse delay or reverse reverb sort of attack that like swell in, and especially on the cello one here, like put a like we've been mentioning a good drive fuzz distortion along with it, and you got something pretty doomy and heavy with it.
And it seems to be acting better in the lower register where a cello would be found. It's got that really woody kind of sustained sound.
Right, yeah.
It sounds pretty legit. I like that a lot.
Now, I think this is the most unique one out of it, and, the other ones very directly sound like an organ and unmistakably, or keyboards. This one, I think you can get the most creative with, again, mixing it with other effects, place it in different places in your chain, and feel free to get weird with all of them, really, but the Mel 9, I think, especially takes to it. Now, the flute is another...
Is the cello sound something that was found in the original Mellotron, or did they kind of stumble onto this sound?
All of these sounds are from the original Mellotron, really? Yeah, or emulate the voices that were available on the original one. Cool. And I remember, like, the flute, when we're about to try here, stuck with me because of Ike Owens in the Mars Volta using the Mellotron flute sound a lot. I think think it handles chords pretty well.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily sound like a chord of flutes, maybe, but that's a cool sound.
Right.
What's that?
I guess it would distort a little bit, but I guess that's just our system here. Let's try something else on here. Let's go with the brass.
I used to know this. I forgot. I had a long night. Shut up, Tino.
Yeah, lack of rest does affect your playing.
I haven't practiced. I learned that song like a year ago and I haven't revisited.
Proctor said, hey.
Oh, hey, a shout out to Kevin Proctor of Iconic Guitars. What's up, buddy? Glad you're listening in. Now, let's try this. We found these ones funny in the shop, but you have low choir and high choir on here. So let's try the high choir. Oh, hello to Jackie Bertone as well. I really thought you were about to start a video Kill the Radio Star.
I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. Interesting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Again, it's something that's a little out there and one of those things that you never knew that you would want to try.
Yeah.
Because, again, I never thought I would see a Mellotron emulating pedal that didn't require, a V guitar pickup or a MIDI pickup and a whole lot of extra processing. But I'm very stoked that Electro-Harmonix has managed to fit these into these, fairly compact enclosures that sound pretty awesome. It's opening up your playing, opening up your mind, right?
Yeah.
Now, with the time we got left, let's move on to the last one. So I'll just take a minute here to plug that in.
I'll mute it this time so we sound like professionals and we don't get a bunch of buzzing and humming.
Oh, yeah.
And popping.
Yeah, sorry about all that, folks.
And coming up next, we have the Earthquaker Devices Organizer. Earthquaker makes a lot of really far out stuff, too.
Yeah, they. I remember hearing them described once as the guys who purposely made the broken pedal sound, but it sounds awesome, which it does. So there we go.
Slippery rascal.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll stay on the end of the table. So to explain the controls on here, you have up, which is octave up, octave down. Choir adds another octave above and below the other two. Excuse me. And the lag control is like attack on the Mellotron, a tone cut, and then the direct volume. So I have everything roughly at noon there. Give that a shot and see what happens. I'll put the lag down to instant to see people can see what it sounds like and start with the choir down. So it's got the sort of quirky church organ-y sound, which it's, I think if I remember the literature right, that Earthquaker provides, they call it like guitargan or something like that. But it's leaning in an organ direction. I don't know if they were really trying to be exact on point about having the organ sound, but before the B9, C9, Key 9, Mel 9 came out, this was the one I would always point people to that wanted that idea. I'll still point them in that direction, on this direction actually. It's for a different flavor. So now I'll add in the choir to see what that does while Paul plays. Although it was tripping you guys out earlier, when you turned the lag up, it kind of comes as a swell behind your playing. There we go.
Turn it up even more where it drives me crazy. That reminds me of like bad lag, like when trying to record through a digital audio workstation and you're just having too much latency.
Yeah, screws up your playing.
So this is a way to like face your fear. You got this pedal, you play like this, you just learn to be on time, and then it doesn't phase you anymore.
There you go. Learn to be on lag. There you go.
Yeah. That's a cool sound, though. Ooh, nice tail to that.
Right? A little bit of vibrato in there to give it some effect.
Pixie dust, fairies.
Does kind of have a little bit of the weirdness, that pixie trail that's in their Rainbow machine, which is another wild pedal that Earthquaker Devices makes. But it's again, because it's not trying to be an organ directly so much; it's trying to be something else. It just gives it another cool option. You know. Oh, by the way, when you're playing and you twist the lag, it makes this cool sound.
Nice.
Yeah, put a little delay behind that and have that going. This is really what I do at my practice rooms. I just make strange noises and keep trying to figure out ways to mess with them.
That's pretty awesome. I really dig that. You could do so much creative stuff with this.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, as we've established, Earthquaker is known for that. Their the weirdness. It sounds like a broken pedal, but it's still musical.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely one of those cases. I mean, out of the four that we've tried here today, Paul, which do you see yourself gravitating more towards?
Probably this one and the B9.
Right on.
Love that harmonic in there.
Right? And for some reason, it reminds me of a harpsichord a little bit, too. Something in the attack.
Yeah. I I took too much.
It's definitely a different option to just throw in your pedal board once in a while, or open up your mind a little bit and follow the pixie trails.
Very, very cool. So a lot of really cool options for, getting away from your standard, whatever, wah, delay, distortion, chorus.
Yeah, and trying to get that keyboard sound down as best you can. But I mean, when you want to just get a little part down and have that Vox Continental or Wurlitzer sound, or Hammond B3 tone ready, the B9, Key 9, C9 are there for you. But the Mel 9 and Organizer are definitely for the more, in my opinion, at least more for the experimental musician.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, that add effects around them before, some drive before or after, and phaser or tremolo after, and you can definitely do some cool stuff.
Yeah, and just trying to mix these with something else, a chorus or a phase, or some of the more standard stuff on your board, probably come up with some trippy stuff as well.
True, and actually, I think that might end up helping a lot on the Key 9, is adding a univibe or something similar afterwards, and getting boosting it and getting a little bit of character out of it. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, I mean, they've been popular sellers for us over at Pitbull Audio, and people are always tripped out when they try them. But for all the Electro-Harmonix ones, they are $221.30. That's not that expensive, and the Organizer from Earthquaker Devices is just $185. So come on in, guys, try them out, see if they're for you.
Yeah, great for if you're doing covers and you want to throw in a recognizable part, or just to experiment. Yeah.
And remember, guys, we are giving away a VM Pro with Mission Engineering. So go to Mission Engineering's site and enter there. Share for yet one more entry, and click that Learn button to answer the trivia question for another chance to win that buffered VM Pro from volume pedal from Mission Engineering.
It sounds like it's almost too hard not to win.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you got 3 chances there. What more do you need?
Yeah, the odds are completely stacked in your favor.
True.
No excuses. Get yourself a VM Pro.
Yeah, a buffered volume pedal. It'll help you out.
So very cool. I guess that's it for us. We'll see you next time. This has been Sharpen the Axe.
Sharpen the Axe with me, Eric Lucero, and Paul.
We'll see you guys next time. We got some really cool stuff in the works that we're dying to get our hands on.
Yes.
Hopefully, if it works out, we'll bring it to you next week. So, keep experimenting, keep exploring, find your unique sound. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Paul.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on EnterTalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove?